still out here. I've changed the depth setting a couple times now. What I'm finding is it went across the unworked soybean stubble a lot better than it does, or more uniformly it seems. Just because what I'm thinking is, you know, you got your bumps across the worked ground, and the way the mulch finisher is tracking across it thinks it's at maintaining a depth, but it's walking over all those bumps. But what I'm finding is when I go with the way they discs, it does an okay job. In years past, I've always gone at a slight angle to what we've ripped or done anything to, like I talked about in my other video here. And this pass, knock on wood, looks great, and I've worked it at a slight angle to what it was just at. The hardest part, though, is keeping your speed up, because everybody's claiming, oh, you gotta have 7-8 mile an hour. Well, if you can sit in the seat of this thing and keep yourself in the seat, you're gonna tear yourself apart. You're gonna tear the equipment apart, I feel like. So I'm in this in the unworked soybean stubble. I agree, it worked great at 7 mile an hour. I'm out here and I'm going somewhere in like 6.5, sometimes 5.5 if it gets real rough. But I'm just kind of experimenting, and I'm maintaining. What am I going right now? Let's see. Let's get lined up here. 6.5. When you go at a slight angle, you can keep yourself in the seat, but you get going anywhere more than an angle and you start shaking things up. So I'm impressed. I like it. I'm actually, you can see here I went with the disking to go along the road, to outline the road. You can see the trash doesn't seem to get stirred up. It doesn't seem to get as level. And then you can see these passes where I went at a slight angle, and everything looks smoother. The material looks spread out. You don't see trash areas where trash is spread out. Everything seems to be the same depth, where over here you can see it barely scratched going with it. So I'm just I've never run one of the things before, so I may have to, just looking at it as it's going through the field, it's pretty good. I may have to tilt it back just a touch. And it appears the discs are going in good. The first row of, like, I'd call them like a ripper shank, are going in pretty good. The first row of digger shanks are going in okay, but you get going in a few areas and they don't seem to be sitting in where I'd like them to be. But now that I'm hitting it at a uniform angle, everything looks good. So maybe I'm just gonna run it. Maybe I'm just gonna run it here. So I'm impressed. Overall, I'm impressed. I got a few videos I'm gonna post this week while I'm at work and while it's raining and we're not able to do anything. I don't know which order they're gonna go up, so it might get confusing, so bear with me. This one might go up first just because I might make this one a little bit shorter. My internet doesn't like to cooperate to upload, so I may upload this one first, and then we'll go from there. So you'll see a bunch of videos of this thing getting tried out. I'm gonna run back over and help them with the corn planter. They're having some issues with the, you can tell it's just wet right here, but it just doesn't seem to care. It lays it out so uniformly and doesn't clump the material up, doesn't clump the dirt up. I really like that, because we have a lot of wet areas, as you can see if you followed me last fall, which was extreme, but there are fields that are generally wet spots, and you know, it's nice to have a machine that, you know, the disc slice and dice, and then the, you know, the shanks kind of break them apart, and then the harrow does a nice job. The harrow's in good shape, so I like the way material gets laid out smooth for the sun to bake on it and dry out. So overall, I think this was a good investment, and I think it's going to work great for him. You're going to see us, we'll know real quick once we get rocking and rolling. The only part that people get gun shy about are they're heavy. You know, look at the thing, it's built like a ripper. And also the fact that, you know, it's a lot of weight when it's heavy like that. So people are afraid you're going to bury them in the mud. So you can see here, this is an area where I barely dug in. Now I'm getting it worked up pretty nicely. So I'm going to keep going here. Actually, I'm pretty much done. Pipeline patrol. Pipeline patrol. Check the pipeline. Make sure there's no blasts or outbursts or whatever you want to call them. I guess. You know it's back there, but That's just when it's finding its depth control. So when you push it forward, you're actually pushing it a little further, a little deeper than it is. Oops, needs to go in a little farther here. And then you just let it back, and then the depth control kicks it back up. That's where it needed to be. So it's just going to take some getting used to. We haven't had depth control. We had it on the John Deere digger a few years ago. The DMI didn't have it. We just put stops in on the hydraulics. So it's pretty handy, but beautiful job. Love the thing already.